Thank you very much, Simon. And I'd like to start with a very simple question to all of you. What could you achieve in 7 days? And coincidentally, I hadn't anticipated what Beatrice's speech would be about, but this speech rather dovetails with what she's spoken about, because with Beatrice's speech, she was discussing setting up an event, whereas this is more sort of the advanced planning stage, where we've got an event lined up on April the 13th at Oxford Speakers, and this is the lineaments of what we've done to achieve that. I've used this picture at the start just to show you some people you may recognise or may not recognise from Oxford Speakers Club. There is a lot of synergy between the two clubs. And what I've done with the structure of this speech is it's 7 tasks over 7 days. So we've got 7 tasks that are continuing all the way to April, but this is just the commencement of the planning of what we've got ready. So the first task that we set ourselves with High Performance Leadership is to publicise this event was social media and posters, which, as I'm running the High Performance Leadership project, has been given to me. Now, what we've done on this is we've designed 4 different graphics. We had a vote on this at Oxford Speakers Club as to what we thought was the best graphic to go with, and it became this one, which is a blue diamond, basically, diamond being the 60th anniversary of the club, so hence the theme of diamonds. And we've used this graphic to invite loads of people with quite a lot of success, as we'll see later on. The second task is physical invitations and posters, which I've given to our club secretary, Tom Cummings. And with this, we have got 2 things already, which is one, we've got a poster designed that we are putting forward to quote, the one on the left with the engagement rings, and the picture on the right, the light blue one, the sort of teal blue, is the invitations that we've designed. One of these is designed by myself and the other one's designed by Tom. So that's the second part of the second task basically ready. The third task we set ourselves was media outreach, which I'm dealing with. In Oxford, it's basically BBC Radio Oxford and Oxford Times, Oxford Mail. Oxford Times, Oxford Mail are part of the same group as Witney Gazette, so News Quest. And what we've achieved on this is we've contacted both of them. I wish there was more feedback than that, but at the moment we're waiting to hear back. We're planning a radio interview and a press release, essentially. The fourth task we set ourselves of the 7 was to invite members, guests, and VIPs. I've delegated this to Rebecca Z. Herbert, who is our Vice President Education. I've used this picture to show there are no limits to our ambition. If people come in to our 60th anniversary by private jet, all the better. It's unlikely during COVID in April, but we really do want people from across the world, former members. We have a lot of variety within Oxford Speakers, so hence the ambition. What we've achieved is confirmed here. We've got the district director, the immediate past district director, the previous district director, club growth director, area director, our executive. There's a chap from Sweden coming, so we do have already a little bit of international variety, but I do want much, much more. We've invited all sorts of people from the district, members, guests. We've invited William Horwood, who you might remember from our last Witney Speakers meeting, was the author that Neil mentioned as a valuable mentor to him. So we've included him. And of course, with this slide, you're all invited too. So anyone from Witney Speakers is more than welcome to come on the 13th of April. Fifth task we set ourselves, website facelift. I've given to Diane Richardson, who's an expert on PR. And we have a relatively new website, but we felt it needed a bit of elaboration. What's happened so far on this, she's approached a chap called John Drinkwater, who is an international Toastmaster in London. I saw him once at a conference in the US, advising on websites. We've also found our old website full of our club history, which is quite interesting to read. 60 years of history, as you can imagine, a lot has happened to our club. Sixth task was historic research. I've included this picture as this trunk, I think, is somewhere in Witney. Oh, sorry. And one of our more senior members, Paul Ovington, has been put in charge of doing the history with this trunk. I think it's from the 1970s. So it really is full of very historic memorabilia. And what we've achieved on this, we found out this that our club has been in 4 different venues, including the Randolph, the Radcliffe Infirmary, Oxford Town Hall, and of course on Zoom. So it's been lots of places in 60 years. Something we're incredibly proud of as a club is we were one of 3 clubs in the UK that allowed women members in the 70s. It's unbelievably, every other club outside those 3 didn't allow women and left Toastmasters, which is just mind-blowing. So all clubs within Oxfordshire, as far as I know, stem from Oxford speakers. We are, in a sense, a mother of clubs, which is something to be hugely proud of. Last of all on this research point is Andrew Moss has been a member of our club for 40 years, so that's worth celebrating. Last task, the 7th task, is managing the meeting itself. And I confess, with this picture, I did steal it off Witney Speakers Club. It's a very good picture, and it shows how good Enker is at basically creating events that draw attention, let's say. And I think because of that, we, as she's our president of our club and your vice president education, we put her in charge of managing the meeting itself. And what's been achieved on that? Loads of ideas. In the interest of time, I won't go through every single one, but the 3 I really like, in particular, are dressing like it's 1961, which should be quite fun. Having an outdoor event, which is interesting. And going around the megaphone in the city centre, which I'm not sure if I'm going to adopt that one, but we shall see. And also, just to add a cheeky other one, cupcakes for everyone. I rather like that idea. So, in summary, what can you achieve in 7 days? And what I've done here is, obviously, there are many thoughts you'd have, but certainly what I've been doing the last 30 days that's been culminated in this 7 days is I've been on a diet and I've lost nearly 23 kilos. So the reason I highlight this is to say that you can achieve anything you want to in 7 days. 7 perfectly good serviceable days. You can do whatever you want. And I hope this speech has inspired you to do that. In conclusion, I would highlight the 7 things we've achieved so far. We have got going on the project. We'll only know it on the 13th of April how successfully it's going, but I reckon we've got about 20 guests. And of course, to underline something I said earlier, everyone from Witney Speakers is invited to it. So you're more than welcome, and do come along. Thank you very much for your time.